Okay, so I have match 3 of the set between Ahan and I, and it's a pretty clean match, pretty straightforward. And we actually both have Sun teams here, so I decided to start off with Darmanitan. And like usually, if someone has a Sun team or whatever, they'll anticipate well, at least if they start with Ninetales, they'll anticipate the Rock Slide, which is why I went for U-turn instead, so I can get like a free switch on, whatever he brings in. But he does some kind of hidden power. I was thinking that maybe it was Rock or something like that, but it did neutral damage, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. But here, I know he's obviously not going to switch his Venusaur in, because it's like the only thing that can pretty much resist this Toxic here. So I just go for the Toxic, and I catch the Donphan on his way in, which is pretty much a plus, because now Sturdy is pretty much useless. So I switch out here because I don't want to take an Earthquake. I know he's probably going to set up anyways, which I think he does. Yeah, he sets up here. So that was a pretty good switch on my part. And I know that since I'm slower, it's going to be a hassle for him to have to continuously put up these entry hazards, because I'm going to be spinning them off and stuff like that. He goes for the Earthquake to pretty much break my Sturdy, but that doesn't really matter to me at this point. Unless he had Fire Fang or something like that, it'd be a little bit of a problem. But here I just go for some Stealth Rocks of my own, because I know that he's gonna probably switch here. So he brings this guy in. Of course I get the rocks up, as mentioned before, and I wasn't sure if this thing carried HP Fire or not, so I just switched out to Kyuubi, and he goes for the Growth. And again, I wasn't really sure if he had HP Fire or not, so I didn't want to chance that. So it was a good play on his part, and I know that Sludge Bomb is gonna do massive damage if it doesn't kill, but Kyuubi actually survives, because this one has just a little bit more bulk than your average Ninetales. And once I survived that, I'm like, well, provided that my Fire Blast hits, this Venusaur is dead. No questions asked. So I pretty much roast that. Get some lefties back. He brings his Donphan in, and at this point I don't really care, because it's not like a Weather War, so I just go for the Fire Blast. And at this range, I was pretty confident that it would kill, because Donphan isn't really too big on special defense, and even though this Ninetales doesn't have a whole lot of investment in special attack, it still is a stab Sun boosted Fire Blast. Now he brings his own Ninetales in, and I started to hit it with the Toxic, but I'm like, well, there's no need to lose a Pokemon for no reason. I can just bring Chansey in and wall it. So that's exactly what I do. And he doesn't have Donphan anymore, so I just go for T-Wave, without any worries. And he brings this thing in, and I know that, like, just from the way he switched it, I know automatically that it has Cycle Shot. But again, I just don't care at this point, because I don't want to switch anything else in to take one. I mean, I started to bring in Fortress, but it's pretty much pointless. Whatever. I can just heal it off. So all I do at this point, I just soft world until he gets a paralysis, and after this Cycle Shock here, that's exactly what happens. Now I'm sure he was waiting for a crit or something like that. So I mean, I don't know. I guess staying in, I can kind of see the logic, for him staying in here, as far as that goes. So yeah, I get an S-Toss, and then this next turn I'm lucky enough to get another paralysis on him, and I'm able to knock it out with this Seismic Toss here. So that's another big threat going. He brings this thing in, and at this point, I mean, I could easily bring in Dragonite, but I didn't know if he was going to Rock Slide or not. So I figured the best switch for me would be to bring in Cinnabar. and get the Intimidate. And despite that, I know that Flare Blitz is going to do massive damage just because like of sheer force and all that stuff. I mean, that's crazy. That's over 50%. But I know he's Choice Scarf, so at this point the best move for me to do is Extreme Speed, and I'm Choice Banded, so I know it's dead. He brings in Zapdos, and I go out to Chansey or whatever, because I can pretty much ball this one unless he carried like the rare Metal Sound set, that lowers like Special D and stuff like that. But I think I actually went for a T-Wave here. Yeah, I went for a T-Wave. I didn't even consider the fact that the game didn't display a message saying that Zapdos was exerting pressure. Like, I don't know, my mind was all over the place. But that T-Wave definitely helped him out a little bit. He got a crit there. Chansey still braved it pretty much. Now here I could have just softball, but like I didn't really see a point in prolonging the match like that. So I bring Cinnabar back in. I was pretty sure that I could outspeed or whatever, but you can never be too sure. So I just went for a safe Extreme Speed, knock it out. It probably had like 2 HP. So brings in Ninetales. I'm locking that Extreme Speed, but I know it's dead, especially after the Stealth Rock. So like Extreme Speed, and that's pretty much the match there. So that concludes the set, and I'll have some more matches up in the future. Peace.